Hi everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I'm coming to do a book review, and I am reviewing Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is take 2 of this review because take 1 sucked. This is set in Nigeria, and it's a coming of age story of Kambili and her brother Jaja, who live in Nigeria's upper echelon of society. Their father is very wealthy, and they live a charmed life, so it seems. Their father is very financially supportive of the people in his neighborhood, in his village, in his family, and he's very revered by the community that they live in. However, at home, he is kind of a tyrant. He's extremely fanatically religious, and that has a lot of negative consequences for their home life. And Kambili's life and Jaja's life is changed when their aunt Ifeoma, their father's sister, comes and suggests and encourages their father to allow them to come stay with her while they're on holiday. And it's like Kambili and Jaja lived in this box, and now the lid is opened off of this box, and they see that there is life that's extremely different from the rigid, scheduled life that they live at home. And so the story is a coming-of-age story for them as they struggle to deal with that difference, and they both deal with it in different ways. They grow in different ways, but it's told in Kambili's voice, and her voice is very understanding but very anxious and timid and unsure. And even as she sees things that are different, as she wants to experience those changes, she doesn't know how to step into them, and she over-processes attempting to step into these new situations because she's so anxious, and she's always so concerned about whether or not what she's doing or what she's thinking about doing would be approved by her tyrannical father, who she loves but she doesn't really like. I really enjoyed this. I don't read a lot of literary fiction. I read a lot of fantasy, and I don't read as much romance as I used to, but literary fiction is like at the bottom of the list. When I made my list for the colors for my magnet wall, if you can see the magnets, the little magnets that are behind me on my closet door, I don't know if you can see them or not, but when I made my list for that, I didn't even put literary fiction on the list, and then I looked at some of the things that I wanted to read this year, and I realized that I had some literary fiction on the list, so I had to change or add a color to the list for that. It's not that I don't like literary fiction, it's just that it comes off to me as something that can sometimes be a little over my head when it comes to dealing with the issues in it. I don't like reading a book about a lot of issues, and it seems like literary fiction is rife with them, just as some other books are, but it's just more palpable in other ways. But if you are a reader like that, the point of that like long ass ramble, if you're a reader like that and you don't read a lot of literary fiction, this is a very palatable literary fiction novel. I did not have any problems getting through this. It's written in a way that it really flows, and once you get into it, you've been reading for a while and you don't even realize it because it just flows once you start moving with it. I do read novels from a more emotional standpoint, so when it came to dealing with some of the issues that exist in Kambili's family, I couldn't understand to an extent, but I guess that is the privilege of the life that I have lived. I don't have the ability to allow someone to treat me the way that Kambili and Jaja get treated during the course of this novel and their life that's given out in this novel. I just don't have the ability to do that. I wanted to bitch slap her daddy like multiple times. Like, you got pens. Pens can puncture skin. Stab his ass. And that's just, and it seems kind of harsh, but I don't have that in me. And again, that is a wonderful privilege that I've had. Didn't really think about that until reading this novel. Anyway, I digress. There are some parallels as I read it that I took from the unrest that is going on politically in Nigeria, along with the unrest that's going on emotionally and physically in the life of Kambili and Jaja. This is taking place during a time frame where Nigeria is becoming a military state over what they had before, which was kind of like a democratic state, I guess. I don't really know a lot about the political standpoint in Nigeria, so yeah. But military rule has happened, and what was interesting is how, because her father is as affluent as he is and has holdings in the community, he and those that he works for are put in the mainstream of that political unrest, and how he deals with that publicly versus how he deals with the unrest in his own home are like completely different. There were some issues that I had with their mother as well. The other characters that are in the novel, I liked the way that she took a little bit from everybody that she kind of comes in contact with in this new life that she is experiencing when she's living with her aunt over the course of the holiday. And so the development in her from the person that we see at the beginning of the novel to the person that exists at the end is just really nice to experience. I'm going to stop and end this with, I really enjoyed this. I have not rated it yet on Goodreads. I'm struggling between 4 and 4.5 stars, somewhere in there. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this novel, and I would definitely suggest reading it. Even if you don't read a lot of literary fiction, this is something that would be easy to digest and just enjoyable to read. And that's all that I'm going to say about that. If you would like to discuss it, please talk to me in the comments below. I did buddy read this with Mickey for Mickey's BookTube experiment, and so I'm not going to upload this until we've actually talked about it more, because I think I finished this before she did. And so yeah, we've been talking about it on Voxer a couple of times, and so I'm going to wait until she's finished it, at least, even if she doesn't do a review of it. But I'm going to wait until she's finished before I upload this review. That's all that I have to say today. I'm going to stop. You all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.